Hi, this is Photoshop Mama with part 2 of Mama's Makeover. So, picking up where we left off, we just finished doing the iris contour and we're working our way up. So the next thing I'm going to do is darken in some of these upper eyelashes and contour a little bit more around the eye. So again, I'm going to click the Add Fill Adjustment icon at the bottom and choose Curves again. So in the composite RGB channel, click a point in the center here, and I'm going to drag downward to darken. And then just click OK. Same process. We're going to invert this mask on a PC, Control I, Macintosh, Command I, and then we're going to come in here and I'm going to hold down my space bar and control key, space bar command on a Mac, so I get that toggles the zoom tool real quickly, and just zoom in on the eye area and then pan around with the space bar to toggle the hand tool. It's real important that you get these shortcuts down for navigating your document and working with it. It saves a lot of time. So with the airbrush tool, I'm going to just make that a little bit bigger. And most often I like to use the airbrush tool bigger than I need it. It produces a softer effect, and you can always come back in, cut in with a smaller tool. But the way that it lays down the set of instructions or paint when it's a little larger is softer and more natural looking. So I'm just going to, with white as the foreground color, come in here and click and just darken this upper part here. I'm contouring. Like so. And sometimes I like to overkill. So once I've got that opened up here, I'm going to come back in here and edit the curve that I made for the outer contouring. I'm going to name this too. And I use the word contouring basically to mean darkening. If you want to put in darkening, if that makes more sense to you, then do that. So I've renamed this, but now I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to drag this down a little bit further to make it even darker, because I like to use the layer opacity controls to fine tune it. So overkilling a little bit initially is okay to do. And I'm going to come in here, maybe make this just a little bit smaller, and I'm going to so you can make somebody look like they have a black eye too if you want to. All right, so at this point is when I'm going to lower the opacity of the layer, the contouring layer, and now I'm going to come back in and cut in, switching my foreground color to black, because that'll conceal that set of instructions. And now I'm going to get a smaller brush by hitting my left bracket key. There we go. Maybe not that small. And come in here and clean some of this up. And if I want to bring it back, hit X key, and I can paint that instruction back in. Just making it a little bit darker over that side of the iris, like so. Hit X so I can take some of this off. That's good. Okay, the next one I'm going to work on the eyebrows. Same process. Add Fill Adjustment, click Curves. I'm going to drag this downward like so. And I'm going to go into the red channel and add a little bit of red to this, because this is for the eyebrows here. Let me come back out to the composite, darken that up a bit. And we'll see how that looks. Again, the beauty of adjustment layers, not only can you edit the mask portion, the parts you wish to reveal and conceal, but the actual set of instructions, and you'll see what I mean in just a second again. And the same process, we invert the mask. We dial in the flavor or the set of instructions, we invert it to cover it all up, and we use the foreground color white to reveal it. So I'm going to just paint in these eyebrows like so. Come over here and do this one. And then hit the X key to come in and contour or cut back in. And to blend a little better, Mama's little trick of Gaussian blur the mask. So we'll just dial that in to soften it a bit. Still going to work on cutting this in. Lower the opacity a bit, and I'm going to double click on the icon of the particular adjustment, which is right here, the left thumbnail, to come back in here, and I'm going to go into the red and maybe just bring it down a little bit. There we go. Come into RGB. There we go. So you can fine-tune even the color or hue by coming back in here and playing with these settings. Let me zoom out on that a bit. You can look at it. And back to my brush. Just come in here and then click the visibility on and off, and you can see that darkening those eyebrows definitely highlights the eyes quite a bit more. It frames them nicely, and that's a problem with people with very light blonde hair or red hair. A lot of times their eyebrows are very light, and you can still make them natural looking, but more of a frame around their face. Okay, we're going to name this eyebrows. Again, important you keep track of which layers are taking care of what aspect of the retouching. And let's see, the next thing that we're going to do, maybe we'll try a little color in here, like eyeshadow and eye color. So we're going to dial in curves here. We're going to go into the red. I'm going to drag it downward a bit to get a little bit of cyan. Remember, what's to the lower left in the red channel of curves controls the cyan color. And then we'll go into the blue channel and add a little blue, so we click and drag upward because what's in the upper area controls what is blue. And dragging downward is yellow. So we're going up, we're trying to dial in a little bit of a bluer color, and we're going to click OK. Same process, invert, Control I on PC, Command I on a Macintosh, get a white airbrush, and let's go in here and click, change this color a bit. So then I'm going to enlarge my brush a bit and put some eyeshadow on. And I think I'm going to change the color of this. I know it looks a little garish right now, but that's the process. We start out and it's a bit exaggerated, and then we go in and we fine-tune that aspect. Hit X to clean up this overspray, and continue to part 2B.